We're counting down the top 10 forgotten survival tricks only 90s kids truly mastered. From makeshift tech hacks and secret playground trades, to rituals that somehow kept our gadgets and sanity running, these legendary moves were the difference between winning the day and total frustration. Some involved scientific guesswork, others were pure superstition, but every single one meant the world before smartphones and Google. Ready to see how our brains survived offline chaos? Let's start the countdown at number 10. In the 10th place, Alta Vista and Yahoo ruled the search scene long before anyone had heard of Google. If you needed answers in 1995, you had to become a keyword wizard, guessing, rephrasing, and hoping your search terms would bring up something useful. Alta Vista launched in late 1995, and Yahoo's directory opened in 1994. Together, they handled millions of desperate homework queries and random curiosities. About half the results were actually helpful, and that felt like a win back then. Patience was the real skill. No autocorrect, no, did you mean suggestions? Just pure trial and error until Google finally showed up at the end of the decade. Who remembers chaining synonyms just to find a single website? Number 9. Burning CDs from Napster and LimeWire was a badge of patience in the late 90s. Napster launched in 1999, and suddenly millions of users were lining up for digital music if you could wait. Downloading a single 3 to 5 megabyte MP3 on dial-up meant staring at a progress bar for 20 to 60 minutes. Burning a 10-track CD could eat up your whole night, but finishing one felt like a trophy. Myth or fact? Napster speed was pure agony. No one ever downloaded a song in seconds. As one college peer put it, burning at 3 a.m. felt eternal, 20 minutes per song. 8th place goes to the panic-inducing ritual of rewinding rental VHS tapes before returning them to Blockbuster. Forgetting meant a $1 to $1.50 fine, real money when your allowance barely covered snacks. In 1997 alone, rewind fees brought in about $10 million for the chain. Around 1 in 10 tapes came back unrewound, fueling last-second scrambles as the clock ticked toward closing. Employees remember the 6:58 in the evening rush, with customers frantically shoving tapes into the rewinder to dodge that penalty. Myth confirmed the fine was real, and for a generation of renters, it was the ultimate small-stakes economic lesson. Number 7. MapQuest printed directions were the ultimate gamble for any 90s road trip. MapQuest launched in 1996, and it let you print out a step-by-step route before leaving the house, then hope the universe did not throw a detour your way. No GPS, no phone backup, just a stack of paper and pure optimism. One wrong turn meant instant panic, because those directions had zero flexibility. Early reviews clocked about a 20% misnavigation rate, so 1 in 5 trips ended up somewhere unexpected. Think MapQuest was always reliable? Not even close. If you got lost, you could not just call for help. You had to find a payphone or admit defeat at the nearest gas station. Who still remembers the cold sweat of realizing you missed a turn with nothing but a crumpled printout and a prayer? Number 6. Checking MTV for music videos meant living in a constant state of VCR-ready suspense. Before reality television took over, MTV was a true music channel, airing videos about 80% of the time through the late 1990s. If you wanted to catch the premiere of a new song, you had to watch for hours, finger hovering over the record button, hoping the VCR would not eat your tape. The schedule was unpredictable, with videos dropping at random, so missing your favorite meant waiting days or weeks for another chance. The hiss and click of the VCR became a soundtrack of its own. Every successful recording felt like a victory, building a personal visual mixtape that was as much luck as skill. MTV randomness turned music fandom into a real-time game of chance, and every perfect capture was a cultural trophy. Number 5. Nothing screams 90s survival quite like the sound of AOL dial-up. The 56K modem handshake, peaking at a shrill 3 to 5 kilohertz, was the battle cry of every household with a single phone line. Getting online meant everyone else was locked out, and it triggered epic family showdowns. Downloading one image could take anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes, and if someone picked up the phone, your connection dropped instantly. That screech still lives rent-free in the minds of anyone who waited for chat rooms to load. One parent remembered mom yelling, "Get off the internet," and those screams seemed to last forever. By 1998, the V.90 standard pushed dial-up to its limits, but bandwidth was still measured in crumbs. Every login was a gamble, every web page a test of patience, and every AOL session was a guaranteed phone war. Number 4, memorizing phone numbers and using landlines was a mental workout every 90s kid mastered. With just 1 or 2 household phones, usually bolted to the kitchen wall, privacy was a fantasy. Kids could rattle off 8 to 10 numbers without blinking, from best friends to pizza delivery, because there was no contacts list to save you. Calling a crush meant risking a live audience, as your entire family became unwilling spectators to every stutter and pause. Some kids used rhymes or keypad patterns to lock numbers into memory, turning phone digits into secret codes. According to surveys from the time, most kids could recite a full roster of friends' numbers by heart. Try doing that now. How many numbers can you still remember without looking? For a generation raised on shared lines and public calls, a mental phone book was pure survival. Number 3, trading Game Boy games at school turned every recess into a high-stakes marketplace. With no app store and no way to download new titles, your friends were the only source for fresh adventures. Scarcity ruled the playground. Pokemon Red or Blue could spike in value overnight, especially after a big playground rumor or a new cheat code discovery. Bringing the original case or even a pristine label could boost your trade value by 20 to 30%, making cartridge condition a real bargaining chip. Playground etiquette was strict. No takebacks meant every deal was final, and getting caught with a fake or damaged game could ruin your trading reputation for months. One millennial remembers the rule, playground rules: bring the case or get ripped off. The snap of the Game Boy cartridge and that signature beep signaled the start of a new game, and also a fresh round of trade negotiations. In the 90s, content distribution meant peer-to-peer deals, not downloads. Every trade was a lesson in supply and demand in social survival. In second place, recording songs off the radio was a test of nerves and timing only a 90s kid could master. The trick was simple in theory, finger poised over the record button, waiting for your favorite track to start. But in practice, it was a game of suspense. Top 40 blocks meant you could guess when the song might come on. But disc jockeys loved to talk right over the intro, ruining 30 to 50% of attempts, according to listener polls. Every mixtape was a gamble. Would the disc jockey's voice fade out in time? Or would your perfect tape be tainted by a station jingle? The sound of the cassette deck clicking into records still echoes for anyone who tried. As one former high school disc jockey said, "You timed the pause like a bomb. One perfect tape made you the mixtape king." Pulling off a flawless recording felt like winning a secret contest, and gifting that tape to a friend or crush was social currency you could not buy. For every failed attempt, that one perfect capture made you a legend. And finally, in first place, blowing on Nintendo cartridges stands as the most iconic survival trick of the 90s. The ritual was pure muscle memory. Your game would not load, so you yanked out the cartridge, gave it a heroic blast of breath, and slammed it back in, hoping for magic. 85% of millennials admit they tried it, convinced it was a secret handshake between gamer and console. In reality, the science was never on our side. The problem was almost always dirty or oxidized contacts, tiny bits of dust or tarnish breaking the connection. The act of blowing added a whisper of moisture and grit, which actually risked long-term corrosion. Nintendo's own service manuals quietly recommended isopropyl alcohol, not breath. As retro tech expert, the 8-bit guy flatly put it, dirty contacts, not magical breath. But facts never stood a chance against the collective power of ritual. One millennial gamer summed it up: "My ritual? Blow, snap, pray." Placebo or not, the act itself became a shared language. The snap of the cartridge, the whoosh of air, and the desperate hope are burned into memory. Sometimes survival was all about believing in the trick. Across all 10 tricks, one pattern stands out. 90s survival meant creative problem solving, not convenience. These rituals were not just hacks. They built skills, patience, and social bonds. In a world of instant answers, the real nostalgia is remembering how much we accomplished without shortcuts. Which one do you miss most?